boys and girls. Actually, I never have any girls on my channel. We have 99.9% male in the demographics. So great success. Okay, I guess I'm going to make myself a drink and have a quick chat. What should I drink though? What should I drink? You know what? This one's interesting. I just brought this one out. This is an Israeli single malt. It's called Yerushalmi. Israeli peated single malt. Interesting. Don't know much about this. It's the first time I'm drinking it. Cheers. Smells decent. Ew. Oh, that's not nice. Oh. For those of you who just joined, I was trying this Israeli single malt called Yerushalmi. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you'll do a review. What's up, Gurkaran? How's it going? Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. I just thought I'd do like a little live thing. I was sitting and chilling in my room, and I thought we'll do a little live thing. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to know what's behind me on my shelves, happy to share that with you as well. Yeah, but I think I'm going to fix myself another drink. I don't like this. Ew, this is really bad. Sorry, I know you guys are trying. I don't know if I shared this with you guys, but a while ago, I got approached by this publisher in the US to contribute to this book. This is called Single Malt Whiskey, New Single Malt Whiskey, whiskey with an E. And I have a bunch of reviews in this. So it's a lot of reviews in this book. It's a very fun book. I don't know if it's available at all, but I have some reviews in here which were fun to write. I remember. Yeah, fun little book. It's called The New Single Malt Whiskey. Whiskey with an E. Plus, I've been reading this lately. This is the distilleries of Campbelltown. The rise and fall of the whiskey capital of the world. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know Campbelltown used to be the whiskey capital of the world? And according to some information, the reason the region started to fail was lack of casks. Apparently there weren't enough casks to store whiskey in, so the distillery started storing their whiskeys in just shit casks, and sometimes casks that held fish, I've heard. And that's why people are like, we're not gonna drink Campbelltown whiskey because it tastes fishy. I don't know how far that's true. If you know more than I do, please let me know. Hey, Indy Ingot, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining in. Okay, so that one wasn't nice. Let's why don't we just have the Big Pete? This is the Big Pete Christmas edition, which I had at a friend of mine's the other day, which I really liked. Has a bit of Port Ellen in it. I like that gimmick. Port Ellen. Yes, much better. What's up from North Carolina? Yes, I have a cousin who lives in North Carolina. He lives in Raleigh. He used to be in Charlotte, then moved to Raleigh, North Carolina. Haven't been there. Heard it's beautiful. I will. I do plan on going there one day. I was supposed to, but then he told me that absolutely nothing happens in North Carolina. But yeah, how's the weather there? Must be super cold. Is it? When will I open the Kalila 22? You know, I have an open bottle somewhere. I just can't seem to find it. I've drunk a lot of it, so I know there's an open bottle somewhere. Is it this one? No, that's the Lagavulin. By the way, that's the Lagavulin 13. This is this year's. Oh, this is for the 2021 fish. But I will open it. Why have Springbank Kleinlich prices shot through the roof? I don't know about Kleinlich prices. I know why Springbank prices have shot through the roof is because Springbank distilleries did not ramp up production to meet up with the stoppages during pandemic, essentially. And I don't think they're producing enough on the ground right now. And I think there's also a distribution problem. So that's why anything from Springbank is going up in price. Do you drink Kleinlich 25 or 28? I mean, I don't on a daily basis, but I do have from the sorry, let me just look at the comments. Malt Paji, I'm joining right now. Glendronach 21. Well done, Govinda Disco Dancer. I like your name, Paji. Kya pee rahe ho? Glendronach 21. That's a good choice. Great choice on the Glendronach 21. I love that. Good whiskey. I have it here in the back somewhere. There you go, sir. Is this what you're drinking? That's right. You and me both, brother. I just poured myself a dram, but I will have this one next. The Glendronach 21 Parliament. Good call. Good call. So yeah, with the Springbank, that's the problem. I don't know why Kleinlich is going up in price. I bought this Kleinlich a couple of years ago. This is a single cask sherry butt, 51.8% cask strength. So good whiskey this. You're gonna have some Kilkerran 12. Yeah, good. The new one. Do I watch the Premier League? No, I haven't actually. Yes, sir. I have 27. Yeah, you with the 21 Parliament, 27-year-old juice. I'm not surprised. This would be early days. This would be early days when they were putting in super old juice in all their Glendronachs. In fact, even the Glendronach 15 would have 18-year-old whiskey in it. So yes, go in that disco dancer. You know your whiskeys. Hi, David. David Owen, my most favorite person who watches my channel. I really appreciate everything you comment about. It's you keep me going. I really appreciate it. Greetings from Montreal, Quebec. Hey, what's up, Paul? How's it going? Must be cold as hell in Montreal. I travel to Canada often. Vancouver is my favorite place, by the way. So sorry about that, but I really like Vancouver. I just managed to get a bottle of the Nika Taketsuru 17, but I'll open it on my birthday. Yeah, why are you waiting for your birthday, dude? Just open it. I'm looking. Is it this one? Is it this one? The pure malt? Yeah, I think this is the 17 Taketsuru. I still have it unopened though. Ah. What's up? The older bottle killed Karen. Jay Asprilla, what's up? Haas love from Brazil. What's up, Brazil? How's it going? Dhirendra Patel, I know this man. I don't know why he's on my chat. What's the oldest in your bar? I think I'm the oldest in my bar. Indie Ingot, you're in Vancouver. Yeah. Go Canucks. Let's go. I love Vancouver. Did you procure their beet tax overseas or in the States? I actually bought them online in the UK and then I had them shipped to where I am. But that was a long time ago when, for some reason, people didn't really realize how important the BTACs were. For those of you who don't know, BTACs is the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. We're talking about these. The George T. Stagg, the Eagle Rare 17, the William Larue Weller, and the Thomas H. Handy. Greetings from Northern Ireland. Al, my man. How's it going? Good to see you, my man. I'm just looking at the chat. Yeah, so I was super lucky to get those B tags when I did. Sorry. Yeah, I was super lucky to get those B tags when I did. Back when people didn't realize how expensive they were. So I would have bought them for like $120 a bottle, roughly. Obviously, nowadays it's impossible. So yeah, I think I got super lucky, frankly. Latchet. Go Whitecaps. What is Al? What's your go-to Irish whiskey right now? What's your go-to Irish whiskey? David, you told me you're drinking tea. Yeah, good call. Good call. I was actually thinking of doing. Do you plan to open those BTACs? Man, I don't know. I have like a couple of bottles, like this George T. Stagg I have with me. But now the question is, I've drunk all the BTACs. I bought like 2 bottles each of these. So I don't know. They've become so damn expensive. I think it's better off. I think I'm better off just selling them at some point. I don't know when. Maybe in 5, 10 years time, and make a killing and give it to my kids. I think I'm gonna do that. Because no whiskey should be that expensive, even if it's as good as this George T. Stagg that I have in my hand right now. You know, nowadays, because of my videos, I end up just drinking when I'm making videos. So it'll be what I'm shooting, really, or if I'm at a friend's place. Yeah, I'm between two uncorking to celebrate International Scotch Day. I've just opened a Glenfarclas 185th anniversary. Nice, but needs to open up and choose next uncorking. What are they? So might not stay long. Hi, David Owen, Whiskey Straight Out. Hey, Greg Whiskey Guide. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Actually, Straight Out, I have, if I can find it. I used to have a bottle of the Powers, but I don't know where it's gone. I I don't remember drinking it, so I think it's gone somewhere. It's interesting. I should find it. Morten, hello from Denmark. How you doing? How's the weather in Denmark? Is it freezing? Indy, is Ardbeg good yet? What does that mean? What does that mean, Indy? Of course Ardbeg is good. What's wrong with Ardbeg? I'm this huge Ardbeg fanboy. They treat me really well at the distillery, that's why. Every time I go, it's just amazing. Not late night here, Costa Rica. But I'm eager to sip some Kilhoman. Good call. I have a friend of mine, he's married to a lady from Costa Rica. Loves going there. I've always wanted to go, never been. Never been. Lots of good wildlife, I heard. Boo Ryan, thoughts on the Nika Yoichi? Like this one here, the Nika Yoichi. It's one of the best whiskeys I've ever had in my life. I don't know about the new non-age statement Nika Yoichis. I don't know how good those are. But the old school, like this 15-year-old that I have, I remember drinking copious amounts of this. It's just absolutely stunning. Loved it. Hi, Piotr? Is that how you pronounce your name? Hello from Poland. Wow. Cool. I have people listening in from Poland. That's amazing. What whiskeys are you drinking in Poland, man? It'd be really interesting to know. Veera Bhardwaj. Hello, sir. What's your favorite Islay malt? Ooh, tough question that. If you hold a gun to my head, then it's a tie between Kalila and Kilhoman, producing consistently good whiskey. Yeah, producing consistently good whiskey. That's why, and I think Kalila would probably be my favorite, but Kilhoman, amazing. I love Kilhomans. Morton, the winter is quite mild in Denmark, so can't complain. Yeah, that's not bad. It's pretty good. Love the current. Greg Whiskey Guy says, I love the current Yoichi Nas. Otherwise, I did 3 videos about them, and Malt Activist did some too. Highly recommend. Alas, the 10, 12, 15-year-old are too expensive now. Yes, it's true, man. It's too expensive. Hey, Declan Cooey. Yes. Oh, you're an Irishman living in Poland. How did that happen? How did they accept you? I refuse to believe that. The Polish accepting an Irishman? How did that happen? You must have bribed them with some Middleton. That's what you've done. Dilip, I picked up a bottle of Paul John Oloroso Select Cast. Dude, the new Paul John Oloroso, it's stunning. Just blew my mind. $90 is, I think it's a hefty price, but worth it, in my opinion. Just an absolute stunner of a whiskey. I don't know how they did it, man. I got the PX and the Oloroso both, but the Oloroso is just it's flawless. I think it's flawless. Hey, Donner Pass whiskey. Hold on. Do you worry about oxidization when a really good bottle gets low? Yeah, I totally worry about oxidization, but I have those gas thingies that prevent your whiskeys from oxidizing. It's actually a wine thing. So if you just spray that in your kind of empty-ish bottle and you cap it, the gas in the bottle prevents the oxidization. So I'll do that sometimes. You're welcome, David. Whiskey Straight Al. If I was holding a gun to your head, I wouldn't be asking you what your favorite whiskey is. I'd be stealing it. I'm sure you would be doing that, Al. I'm sure you'd be doing that. Donna, greetings from California. What's up, California? I have a lot of family in California, in San Francisco. A lot of family in San Francisco. Go Warriors! Go Warriors! Declan, I got in the 90s. I'm assuming you mean Poland. Good on you, brother. Keith, have you had any bottles of James MacArthur? It's an indie bottle. No, I've not actually. I've never had a James MacArthur. No idea. No idea. Vera, can you make a video on SMWS and SMWS collection in my collection? I don't have that many SMWSs actually, even though it's probably my absolute favorite independent bottler. I think every single SMWS I've ever had has been sublime. So if there's any independent bottler that you can close your eyes and buy whiskey from, it's SMWS. My favorite. I mean, Greg and Al are making plans. Please don't forget to invite me. I'd love to be there. Have you gone back to the Hypernova? Any changes? No. No real changes right here. Let's see. You know what? Let's do this for you. Boo Ryan, let's do this for you. I'll tell you, I wasn't too impressed. And it's an expensive whiskey, this. There you go. No, dude. No change. Still unimpressive in my opinion. Paul John's prices went up after the acquisition from Sazerac. Oh, I didn't know they got acquired by Sazerac. That's crazy, dude. Wow. That's amazing. I had no idea. Well, good on them. Good on them. But yeah, bad on us if the prices are going up. That's not good. Keith, I have a Mortlock 13. I'm waiting to open for an official bottle comparison. I have a Mortlock 16 sitting here, the Flora Fauna collection. I've had this for a while now. And I've not really had a Mortlock that I like so far. It's unfortunate. How many bottles closed and open do you have on your bar? The thing is, it's not just my bar, right? I have stuff on my on my thing here and the thing there. It's just crazy, and they're everywhere. So I have about maybe 600 or 700 bottles in this room, and maybe another 200-300 somewhere else in a secure location. Yeah, I can't give away everything. Yeah. Hey, if you're coming to San Francisco, let us know. Maybe we can meet up with Phil and Deepa, Whiskey Mysteries. Oh yeah, cool. I'd love that. Yeah, next time I'm in San Francisco, I'd love to do that. I was in LA last year for a bit. I was in Vancouver for a bit. I should have come down to San Francisco, but I couldn't. Yeah. So yes, the Hypernova, not really doing it for me. Not a huge fan, even though I'm a massive fan of the series, but this one just didn't do it for me, unfortunately. I have a question for you guys. What are your most underrated whiskeys? Like stuff that you drink and that you love and nobody else is drinking. I'd be very curious to know what your underrated whiskeys are. Vera, I have visited Ecuador. Yeah, I have too, and Ecuador is an absolutely amazing distillery, small, cute, and I think they produce some fantastic juice. Gurkaran, how did you start with whiskey? Peer pressure. I was never really into whiskeys. I in fact hated whiskey in my early 20s, and then I think it was in my mid to late 20s when somebody said, "You're an idiot for not drinking whiskey," and it was purely because I was drinking the wrong types of whiskeys. And yeah, and so he introduced me to whiskey, and I started drinking it, and then I kind of fell in love with it, and he just kind of he couldn't care anymore. But yeah, so that's how I got started, and I have this obsession of collecting things and anything, right? You know, if I get into something, then I want to know everything about it, and I want to collect everything. And so that's yeah, so that's how I did it. I just went and bought every whiskey I could afford and started to make my collection. And luckily, I started collecting around the time that whiskeys weren't that expensive compared to today. So yeah, I think I got lucky. A lot of good names coming here uh, for underrated whiskeys. Yeah, Glencaddam is definitely one of my good underrated whiskeys that I really like. Knockdhu also, yes, I have the 18 sitting in my cupboard, which I also really like. Tormore, that's a good one as well. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Speyburn 15 and 18. They're getting some very good traction. I have yet to try them. I haven't. So Driftless Glen out of Wisconsin. Interesting. Definitely try that. Oh, Glen Gary, definitely underrated whiskey. Yes, I agree with you 100%. That's a good one. Have you had the new Glengoyne, Morton? And if so, what do you think? No, I've not. I've not had the new Glengoyne 30, unfortunately. Um, I think the oldest Glengoyne I've had is a 25. Not had the 30, so not sure. Gurkha and Lecheg. Yeah. Yeah, no, I meant Knockandoo, by the way. Sorry. I did I say Knockdoo? My apologies. I meant Knockandoo. Um, Gurkha and Lecheg. Yeah, but Lecheg I don't think it's underrated anymore. It's getting a lot of traction within the independent bloggers, whiskey community who are championing Lecheg. Um, so I don't think it's really underrated. So, yeah, but great dram, my whiskey of the year, my whiskey of the year. Old Ballantron. Ah, I assume you're talking about this non-age statement peated Old Ballantron. This is such a good whiskey. I'm glad you reminded me of this. I think this is definitely an underrated whiskey. And I think more people should know about it. Wow. If I remember correctly, this is bottled at. Where's this bottled? Can someone tell me really quickly? I could look it up. I did a review of it as well. I did a review of it as well. What's the distillery that does this? I forget. But yes, super whiskey. This I really like it. Buddy, let me try the Aaron Bothy. Dude, the Aaron Bothy is uh, is the Aaron quarter cask the Bothy, and it is an absolute stunning dram. Also, my last year's whiskey of the year. So yeah, great dram. Again, Aaron is another distillery that's being championed by the independent bloggers and whiskey tubers and have brought it to light. So yeah, uh, I think there's a definite power in the hands of the consumer to champion the underdogs, I feel, and I don't see it anywhere as strong as it is in the whiskey community, where whiskey enthusiasts like myself and those with much bigger reach and far more qualified than me are out there championing those those underrated whiskeys. Like, you know, Loch Lomond is doing some great work these days. Um, I like Tomatin. Tomatin is doing some fantastic work. Glengarry you mentioned is doing amazing work. So Lecheg, I mean, maybe 5, 7 years ago, wasn't on anyone's radar, but people really championed it and brought it to the forefront. So and I think, and very deservedly so in my opinion. And so Lecheg, um, I think Lecheg is doing very well these days. Uh, and now if you come to whiskeys like the old Ballantron, which is a fantastic whiskey, very budget whiskey. I think this is about 35, 40 pounds a bottle. So not bad, not bad, and flavor wise, just stunning. Very happy with this one. Bendermac 15, yeah, Bendermac 15, definitely another great, great whiskey. I fell in love with Bendermac with their, with their 100 proof. That was just absolutely amazing. And that one had an age statement. I think it was the Bendermac 10 100 proof. And I remember drinking it and thinking, oh, this is, wow, the greatest whiskey ever made, frankly. Absolutely loved it. And I don't think they've really managed to quite uh, match that level of complexity and just outright deliciousness that the Benromach 1000 proof have had. Um, but I think Benromach is doing some absolute fantastic work, and I love them as a distillery. I think they're solid, solid stuff. And yes, Duncan, like Benromach 100 proof is fire, fire. Gurkaran says, how about an episode dedicated to independent bottlings? I have actually done an episode on independent bottlings. And I'm a big fan of independent bottlings. I love Signatory Vintage. I love SMWS. I love Compass Box. I love both Hunter Lang and Douglas Lang. Caden Heads does some fantastic work. So I've actually stopped buying OBs, original bottles, and I'm focusing more on buying independent bottles, where I think you get a really, really good variety of flavors and unusual maturations and ages that you necessarily don't get with original bottlings. Yeah, so definitely huge fan of independent bottles, and I would love to get my hands on them. Have I ever visited Paul, John, and Goa? No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I really want to, though. I really do want to. Ryan, thoughts on Blackadder? You, sir, have a very, very, very sharp eye. I can see what you're looking at. This Blackadder is actually a very unusual Blackadder because this is an Amrut. So this is an Indian whiskey bottled by Blackadder, and I love their raw cask series. And this one's bottled at 62.3% ABV. So no jokes, brother. No jokes. Yeah, I think Blackadder does some great stuff, and their raw cask series is just top notch. So for me, anything that's raw cask is perfect. If there are any Amrut fans out there, and I'm a very big Amrut fan, I managed to get my hands on one of the first ever releases of the Amrut single cask whiskey. Actually, this is a cask strength single malt, bottled at 63.8% ABV, and the juice in this, what? It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah, Greg, Blackadder does some great work. What do you think about Linder's? There you go. I have a 3 cask blend here from Linder's. Not bad. I think I think they need a bit of work, but you know, I'm always happy when there's a new distillery pops up and starts producing stuff, because that can only be good for us. So, and there's a very good history behind this distillery. You should check it out. Yeah, I think it's a decent dram, and I think a lot of promise, and I'm really looking forward to drinking more Lingerers. Um, and it's supposed to be a beautiful distillery. I've never been. Blackadder wise, Robin, its owner, can do great stuff in value. But yeah, absolutely, I love Blackadder stuff. It's really good. There's been a lot of old labeling Benromax CS around for great prices. Have several stock. Need a bit of water. Yeah, with the Benromax, you know, I prefer to drink my whiskeys without any water, unless I find it has like a very sort of rough edge to it. Tomentol, thank you, David. All this while I was just racking my brains trying to remember where Old Ballantron's made. So thank you, Tomentol. I'm such an idiot. Yes, thank you, David. Always to the rescue. Underrated for the Pog Castle. Oh yeah, triple distilled. Yeah, I know. I love the Pog Castle. Triple distilled Irish single malt whiskey from Bushmills. Yeah, with Jordan bourbon and Olorosa sherry cask. More like a Scotch than an Irish in taste. I've not tried it. I think, you know what? Maybe I have. I don't remember. But I would think that if it's triple distilled, how can it really taste like Scotch? So I don't know. Have I tried the Octomore 13.2? No. I stopped buying Octomore a while ago because I couldn't I couldn't tell the difference between each one. So I had no idea. But I am a big fan of Octomore. Take it easy, Greg. Thanks for stopping by. The unknown YouTuber. I just had a dram of Miyagikyu. So good. Not only is Miyagikyu good, I was lucky enough to pick up a bottle of the 15 of the Miyagikyu long time ago. Drank a couple, saved a couple. Hopefully I can do something with it. Someone asked me a question. Bill says I love Indian whiskey, but it's pretty pretty expensive, price prohibitive by the time it gets to Oklahoma. Hey, dude, I know, man. U.S. taxes are not only confusing, they're a bitch. It's crazy. The only good things you guys do is sell cheap cigars, which I'm a huge fan of, and I buy all my cigars from the U.S. Anyone who's traveling to the U.S. has to bring me back at least 100 cigars. That's always a done thing. Someone asked me something about Japanese whiskeys. Vera, what's the specialty of Japanese Mizunara Oak flavors in whiskey? Well, it's a different type of oak. It's a rare type of oak, and I've tried a bunch of whiskeys in Mizunara Oak, and they have their own sort of earthy flavor profile. I think that's the best way to explain it. I've never really sort of delved deep into trying to understand Mizunara Oak. I've just sort of drunk it. I believe there's also Bowmore does a Mizunara Oak as well. That's because they're all part of the same company, right? So Beam Suntory owns Bowmore and Lefroy. So I think you can expect some Lefroy's in Mizunara Oak to come out as well. I know there's a Bowmore in Mizunara Oak, And of course, there are a lot of there's a bunch of Japanese whiskeys in Mizunara Oak as well. So it's a type of oak that grows largely in Japan, different from American or Spanish oak, definitely different from American oak, which is Quercus alba QA. Um, it has its own unique flavor profile, you know. Um, it's just rare, and not many people other than the Japanese are using it. So there's a Dewar's 8 Japanese smooth Mizunara Oak Goth finish. Oh, crazy. Um, Cheers, Donner. Donner Pass. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for letting me know about your underrated whiskeys. It's very kind of you. That helps. Uh, Feel free to ask me any questions you might have about the whiskeys on my bar behind me. I have a bunch. You can have a look up there as well. Down there. And I guess if you go down. So yeah, so that's my collection. I've had it for about more than 10 years now. Declan, which is the best of the flora and fauna? I think it's the Mortlock 16. That's a good whiskey. There's a Ben Rinnes 15 as well, which is not bad. Gurkaran, try the Amrut Atma. No, I have not tried it. I'd love to though. Indy, got any Lagavulin White Horse? No, I don't. I don't have any Lagavulin White Horse. I'd love to. I would absolutely love to. Will there be Japanese age statements back on the market? Yes, they have to. They have to have the age statements back on the market for sure. And I think they've just about had enough time to start bottling. To start bottling the. Yeah, I'm reading the other question. Yeah, so I think they've had just about enough time to start bottling age statements. I believe the Yamazaki 12 has made a comeback, and I think the Yamazaki 18 will also start making a comeback. I don't know what the deal with Nika is, whether their Yoichis and their Miyagyukyus are going to come back as age statements. I don't know. I think so. I think the Yoichi will definitely make a comeback. And whiskey enthusiast, yes, that is. Well spotted, sir. That's a Glenglassaugh 26. One of my absolute favorite whiskeys. I bought many years ago. It's a stunning dram. Still holds all the flavors. This is a beautiful dram, the Glenglassaugh. Another underrated distillery, by the way, in my opinion. Definitely another underrated distillery, in my opinion. Let me. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I think there's only one more clock that I liked. You're right. I should be very more careful about when I say things. I should remember them. I think the only more clock I've liked is the FNF 16. Everything else I have not been a big fan of. Though their new Mortlock 16 is not bad. I had it at a friend's house with much trepidation, and I said, "Oh, I'm not going to like this." But he said, "You have to try it. It's really good." And he was right. It was actually not bad, to be very honest. It's just that at one point, I was obsessed with Mortlock for some reason. And I went out and bought every single Mortlock I could get my hands on. Um, and none of them were good. And they were all independent bottlers, right? So because there's no, at that time at least, they weren't producing any single malt, they weren't producing any original bottlings of the single malt Mortlock. They only had IBs. Yes, I've tried Glenturret. Um, I think they have a little ways to go. Um, I'm happy that someone like Bob is now at Glenturret, Bob Delgarno of Macallan. I'm not a huge fan of Macallan, but I think Bob knows his stuff. And I think he's going to do good things for Glenturret. I really hope so. I really hope so. So Mortlock 24. Yeah, there's a lot of independent Mortlocks running around. Have you tried the Michel Couvreur blossoming or candid? I've tried the blossoming actually. Not bad, not bad. So for those of you who don't know, Michel Couvreur is a French independent bottler that buys spirit from Scotland and then matures them in Bordeaux or Burgundy casks in Spain. I think the Bordeaux casks or Burgundy casks. Shit, now I don't remember. One of the two, either Burgundy or Bordeaux. I think it's Burgundy. Burgundy casks in Burgundy, France, and that's how he makes his whiskey. So he buys new make spirit from Scotland, and then he matures it in his Burgundy casks in Burgundy. That's why it's expensive. Is it worth $300? Man, I don't know, Indy. How long is a piece of string? It's very difficult to answer that question. So if you love it, then it's definitely worth $300. If you don't, it's not. But this is what I tell everyone, find three other guys who love whiskey as much as you do and who are as curious as you are, and then go out and split a bottle. That's what I used to do. I had four other friends, and if something was too expensive, we'd just split it. And then we each get a share, and if we liked it, then we'd go and buy our independent bottles. And if we didn't, we didn't. At least that way we didn't feel bad about spending money on shit whiskey. And at least back in the day, there wasn't that many shit whiskeys compared to today. Today, there's some serious stinkers selling at exorbitant prices. So I'd be wary. And definitely in today's day and age, find three guys who are willing to split some whiskey with you, man. That's super important. Around 180 euros. So that's about $250. Declan, good topic. Whiskies to avoid. Macallan. Avoid Macallans at all cost. Let me tell you something, right? Everybody thinks I hate Macallan. I don't. I love Macallan. Let me put this out there. I love Macallan. I love that distillery. I love the people at the distillery. I love the spirit they used to produce 15 years ago. I'm telling you, the whiskeys that I've tasted at Macallan, I have not tasted anywhere else in the world. They're sublime, absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, Macallan has started producing, and when I say started, I'm talking in the last 10 years, some horrendous travel retail whiskeys that just don't make any sense. There's no head or tail to them. And I think we got cut off. So everything is such a marketing ploy with Macallan that, they have to resort to so many tricks just to sell their whiskeys. Like I went and bought this whiskey called A Night on Earth in Scotland, and it was the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen in my life. Unfortunately, that whiskey was literally one of the worst things I've ever tasted. It's this one right here, Macallan and Night on Earth in Scotland, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But dude, their older stuff, man, even their pre 2010 12-year-olds, their old school 18s. I was lucky enough to get a tasting at Macallan, and we had like a 30-year-old Macallan pre 2000 bottling of a 30-year-old Macallan. Oh, was it? No, I don't. It wasn't a pre 2000. Anyway, it was an early 30-year-old Macallan, and it was just exquisite. And that's why I love Macallan, and I'm in love with Macallan. But I'm just angry and emotionally, upset that the stuff that they produce now is just, you know. It's not. What the fuck is A Night on Earth, anyways? Yeah, it's to celebrate the Scottish New Year. It's called A Night on Earth. So they commemorated it. But Macallan and Bowmore, so many possibilities, yet so much disappointment. I think I have to agree with you. Finally done. Take it easy, Ryan. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good lunch. Hey, Goran. Hello from Croatia. How you doing, my brother? Hope all's well. So yes, Macallan and Bowmore. Yeah, I agree. Bowmore also disappointing recently. Though again, earlier stuff absolutely stunning. Love it. Not too sure about the newer stuff. I think one of the best whiskeys I ever tasted was the Bowmore Tempest. That's the 10-year-old cask strength matured in first fill bourbon, and it is beautiful, absolutely stunning. I love that. But then, I'm not a huge fan of Bowmore, to be honest. I've been lucky enough to try the 64 Black at a bar, and they were very kind enough to give me a small dram. I didn't have to pay for it, and that's how I tried it. And very, very syrupy, not much peat, but you're drinking history, and I think sometimes that's what whiskey is about. It doesn't have to be good or bad. It's just about drinking that piece of history. I think I'm gonna have my peated Ballantron. I love this packaging. Cool black bottle. Not many full black bottles, you know what I'm saying? I think Ardbeg and Lefroy come closest with their dark green, but no one has like a full black bottle. Ooh, yeah. That's some good stuff. Definitely underrated. I think I can, yeah, definitely underrated. I like that. I like that a lot. Do we have any more questions? Let's go. Ask me some questions. That's a great question, Indy. Old Highland Park versus Old Macallan. I love that question. I absolutely love it. Okay, here's the deal. I fell in love with whiskey. You know when you have that one moment where when you're drinking whiskey and suddenly you realize, holy shit, this is what whiskey drinking is about. And that happened to me with Highland Park 18, the earlier bottle, which I have sitting right over there, if you can see. Yeah, there you go. That's the early bottle of the Highland Park 18. That's the new one. And the new one doesn't even hold a candle to the old one. And the old Highland Park 18 is the reason I drink whiskey today. It is absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. But I think old school Macallans, there's something special about them. Something, that creamy, syrupy, full-bodied, full-flavored, old-school Macallans were just unbelievable. But I think Highland Park now, take it easy, whiskey enthusiasts. Cheers, brother. But Highland Park now, okay, they have a really good whiskey called Full Volume, which I think you should try. I think it's at 46-48%. It's a first fill bourbon, very affordable. I think a great whiskey. And they're doing these new cask strengths. The one in the jute bags. Oh my God, those are just stunning. I love everything about those new cask strength Highland Parks. So I think they've listened to their consumers, and I think there's more and more people like us asking for cask strength whiskeys. And I think Highland Park is delivering on that. So very happy with that. Goran, I love your reviews and actually tried a lot of whiskeys you recommend, and I have to say you have a good taste in whatever you recommend. It was great. That is great news, Goran. I appreciate the kind words, and I'm glad that whatever I recommend you like. Yes, so thank you, Goran. And the thing is, you have to find. We seem to be disconnecting. I hope we're okay. Bill Cosby. I like your name, man. You're brave. My first moment was a 2010 Ugadal that my father-in-law gave me for my birthday 2 years ago. Moment I had to try every whiskey. Glenmorangie. Dude, I had my first, one of my first experiences was also with a very early version of the Ugadal. And hey man, your father-in-law seems like a good guy. So make sure you do not divorce his daughter, please. Otherwise he's going to stop giving you good whiskeys to try. Take it easy, Morton. Thank you for joining in, and long live Denmark. Peace. Indie, Full Volume is a pineapple bomb, slightly bitter at the end though. Really? You got a bitter note? I didn't really get a bitter note. I really like that whiskey. I ended up buying like almost a case. I bought like 6 bottles or something, and I think I finished it in like 3 months. Anyone who'd come over, I'd be like, you gotta drink this whiskey, dude. And they loved it. I thought Full Volume was a great whiskey, very affordable, and yes, including the new Highland Park cask strengths. Again, very affordable. I think in the $150 price range, and very good. Just stunning flavors. All right, guys, if there are no more questions, I think I'll sign off. But happy to entertain a couple of questions if you guys are up for it. If not, then thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Very kind of you to take time out and join me on this stream. Any questions, let me know. In the meantime, go buy this. The old Ballantron. This is a non-age statement. This is the peated malt. I think it's fantastic. Indy, thanks, brother. Thanks for joining me from Vancouver, my favorite city in Canada. Declan, be good in Poland. I hope they like Irish people there. I hope they like the Irish. Jackhammer, choice or experience between Lagavulin 11, Charred Oak, and Talisker Port Rouge. Bill Cosby, can you review the Anok 24? If I get my hands on the Anok 24, I'll definitely review it. Jackhammer, I've not. Oh, actually, I prefer the Talisker 11 over the Port Rouge for sure. I remember buying the Port Rouge a long time ago.